Well, hello there. It's a chilly day to be out and about today, but I am going out about. It's not that cold. It's 34, 1 Celsius. But today we're going to go see if my plow tractor is going to start. It might not, hasn't run all summer. So we're going to go head on out and check that out. So as you can see, I've got my wood pile. I've already eaten into it. I got to go split some more wood. I've got some seasoned wood out back I can split, which is great. I have to work on this too. This is not the plow tractor. This is the Gravely, which I put a new, as you can see, I got to deal with the tire. That holds air for a couple days, but I want to pop that brush hog deck off and put the dog heater snowblower on it, but I got to get it running first. So here's the plow tractor, and it's probably full of mice. Still has the chains on it and the plow from last year, wheel weights. So it's the mower deck's over here. It didn't mow at all last season because the bracket that attaches to the tractor and helps hold the mower deck up broke, and had to have that welded. So I just didn't bother. It's welded now, but I didn't get it welded till fall, so I just used that tractor for mowing. Okay, well, unfortunately the throttle cable is frozen, so I may just have to go get a torch. That's new. The throttle cable didn't used to freeze up on me, so I can't even try to start it until I get that freed up. I mean, I guess I can see if I've even got juice. Yeah, not much. Well, okay, I guess we're gonna need the jump box. This is a mess. Oh well. We'll see if we can get the God, I don't even have the jump box. I'll have to run the battery charger with the jump out here with an extension cord. That's fun. Oh wait, well, we'll see what we can do. Okay, so it is the next day. I don't know if you can see that. Battery charger says the battery is full. I've already opened up the air cleaner. This engine always has oil there. It's not a good thing. I don't know if it's a valve issue, but it's okay. It's not great, but so we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the battery charger. It didn't charge overnight. It's just charged. Put that over there. It just charged all day yesterday. I shut it off at night, and I came out and turned it on again. So we're gonna see. Sorry. This was my little spring-loaded. Since the choke cable is perpetually frozen, I just operate it by hand. That's choke. I don't know if you can see that very well. That's off. That's choke. So once I get it running, I just pop it there. Sorry, probably can't see it. It's really, the sun's hard. I can't see what I'm doing. So that's choke. That's off choke. So when I want to start it, I'm sitting and see if I can reach this easily. I just put it to choke, and then once it starts running, I pop it there, and I throw the spring on. Actually, there's another spring. I gotta put two on. I just wrap it on there because otherwise this rattles its way and slowly chokes out the motor. So one of these days I'll get a new choke cable and do it right. So throttle cable, sorry, it's really hard to hold the phone / camera. Throttle cable is frozen again, so hopefully that'll loosen up before long. But at least it's frozen up. Again, choke cable doesn't matter. Well, let's see if we got any juice and see if we can actually start this thing up. Yeah, see, that's bad. Battery charger says it's full, but clearly it's not. Let's see what we can do. I think I have another battery for this if I have to, but let's see what we can do. So actually, before I go get the battery charger for this is the little solar powered charger that I have mounted to the side of the shed, and clips are down there, and I had them on here for a day or so, but that battery's clearly needs a little bit more boost than that. This tractor has an issue. It's not charging. So the previous owner was told that the stator is no good, but I tested here, and I was getting almost 13 volts, which you want more like 13 and a half at least. but 13 volts is more than 12. It ought to be charging at least a little bit. So I think there's a problem in the switch. I may try just running a wire straight from here where I'm getting 13 volts and just running it straight over to the positive on the battery and see if it charges a little bit. In the winter, it's not a huge deal because I'll just throw the trickle charger on it. And once the machine is started, it doesn't really draw much juice. But during the summer, it's a little bit more of a pain because the electromagnetic clutch for the mower deck eats juice. So I have to charge the battery after each use, and that wears out the batteries pretty quick. But honestly, I'm not pulling this thing apart to replace a stator. I don't have the time or the facilities to do that. It's just going to be every year or so I buy a new battery for it. It's not the end of the world. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Okay, so I don't actually have my good battery charger and jumper. Actually, it's dead. I have this little cheap one that works okay for charging a battery, but it's not much of a, doesn't really have a jump. Doesn't really have a jump function. So, but let's see. I mean, when I hooked it on before I plugged it in, it was saying the battery had 12 volts, so it really should turn over. Let's see if I get anything. Yeah, no. So, I mean, I could have a bad ground too, for all I know. It's been sitting for a year. Well, not a year, but 8 months. So I guess we'll just let this charge for a while. Hopefully with the sun hitting it, maybe the throttle cable will loosen up. Oh, it just did. All right, the throttle cable loosened up. That's good. So I'll let this charge for a while. I'll come back this afternoon, maybe deal with that choke, that kludgy choke, set up, take those springs off, at least temporarily, so I can actually pull the choke. I got the throttle cable, at least that's loosened up. So that's good. It wasn't too frozen. So yeah, if we get some juice, so I'd like to start it up, make sure that the hydraulics work, because it is a hydraulic lift plow. Make sure that all works. Let it run, see how many mice come running out of it. I don't see a lot of mouse material in there, but you probably can't see it all, no. But I'll take a look. Yeah, but other than that, if I can get it to just start and run, and the plow worked fine when parked, famous last words. So this is a really good plow tractor. I used it last year. We didn't get many big storms. We had a couple of medium-sized storms, and it really plowed well. My snowblower is down for the count. So I want to get that, as I mentioned before, I want to get that gravely going. You can kind of see back there, I got that old dog eater snowblower. That's my other snowblower over there that needs I got another gravely brush hog. That snowblower needs a new pulley. I bent it all up trying to pull it off because it needs a new auger. So now I need to buy a new auger and a new pulley for that. So if I can just get the gravely going, if I need a snowblower, that thing is heavy and miserable to use, but it works. And you know, for the most part, I can use this plow tractor as long as this runs for the snow. And then, you know, if I get something that this thing just can't handle, then I can dig into it with that dog eater. So if you don't know why they call it a dog eater, as you could probably see on the sides, there's no safety. There's no shroud. Everything's, the auger's wide open. So you can see the auger is wide open. It's underneath obviously the bagger they don't even use for that. This tractor has a bagger, but I don't even use it because I don't get that many leaves. Yeah, so if you're not careful, something could get sucked into that thing and eaten. Hence the fond nickname, or not so fond, maybe, dog eater. All right. A little while later, I'm back, and yay, the throttle cable has unstuck, so unfroze, so that's good. If I can get it to turn over, I can actually control the throttle. Super. I've got a new battery that I had sitting around for a year or so, and I did charge it up the other day. So I almost forgot about it again. So I'm gonna hopefully switch this battery out with that one, and hopefully we'll get this thing fired up. All right, new battery is in. Oh, I gotta choke it, and let's see if she'll go. Okay, I'm gonna give it a little shot of starter fluid, and we'll see. Okay, let's try it again. Well, it fired over on starter fluid, and I saw what looked like a whole lot of mouse junk. So it's got spark. It's not getting fuel yet, but that's not necessarily out of the ordinary. It's been sitting. Let's try it again. I definitely have a bad connection or bad ground somewhere. Alright. Let's try it on choke. Actually, I think it's a bad... I think my ignition switch is no good. And that might be what's causing. Let's try another. I know this stuff is terrible. Terrible for the engine. It's hard to get in there too. Okay, well, I got some work to do on this. It's not getting fuel, and I might have some ice to clean out of there. But anyway, we'll see what we can do. Okay, so I didn't really want to do this, especially out here, but I'm gonna just pop the cover off of this carburetor. I pulled this off. I pulled this off here. It is pumping plenty of fuel through the fuel pump, so I'm getting fuel. So I'm sure it's an ethanol, or just old gas clogging up the carburetor. I mean, I parked this in the summer. It hasn't really been sitting here that long. I'm a little surprised, but I'm going to finish taking off these screws. I took these two off already. Going to finish taking these off and see if maybe I can just, it shouldn't be that gunked up. It ran not that long ago. So maybe I can just hose it down with some carb clean and see if we can make a go with that, and hope I don't ruin any gaskets. Okay, so I've taken apart a handful of carburetors in my time, but not a ton. I haven't taken one like this apart. I got the screws out. It took a little bit of convincing to get it loose, and when I pull it out, it's got this kind of jet here. It seems to be clear, but you can see through those holes. I kind of blew through it. It seems clear. So the port it goes into is right there. So I'll shoot some carb cleaner down there and see if that's the problem. I'm assuming that it's going to come out it's going to want to come out through here. So let me go get some carb cleaner and we'll see. These are the floats here. So it almost looks very full, which tells me maybe that, yeah, it's filling the float, the bowl. I could take this gasket up, but I don't want to. First, I'm gonna just try to see if I can clear all that out and go from there. All right, so okay, got my my carb clean. Let's just go ahead and see what happens when I go down the port here. Oh, yeah, it is spraying me and my phone. So I would say that that's probably clogged. So how does the fuel get from the bowl over to here? Because these are clear. Maybe the fuel comes up here, travels along here, which corresponds over to here, goes in here. I don't know. I'm going to start spraying some things out and see if I can make sense of it. Okay, so I very carefully went around underneath this gasket and got it off, I think without breaking it, and what I see here is I can pull the needle valve and the floats out, and I just don't want to, oh, and there I go. Needle valve fell off. I mean, it looks like there's some gunk down there, but there's clearly fuel getting to the carburetor. I'll get that needle valve out of there. I mean, I don't think the needle valve is a problem because there's fuel in there. So it's the problem is I may need to clean this out. This carburetor is not coming off. I'd have to take half the engine apart. I think it bolts from the other side. So I don't see how I can get this off. I'm gonna just have to do my best to clean it out where it sits. So I'm gonna go get a little parts bowl. I'm working out in the weeds, so if I lose a small part, I'm history. So I really got to be careful. So I'm gonna go get a parts bowl and some paper towels and try to clean this thing out and see if I can get it going that way. If not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I've got that all cleaned out, and in here, in this hole here, was this jet, and the end was clogged. I don't know if that's the only issue, but I took it out, I cleaned it out, I can blow through it clearly. It's not going to want to focus, but that goes right back in there. So I'm going to screw that in and see if I can blow carb clean through it, if it makes any difference, and if it does, I'll put her all back together and see if we can make her go. Okay, so I put the jet back in, and there was not, I don't think that there was carb clean able to come through there before, so I'm gonna hope that that was the only problem and put her back together. Okay, so this is actually just plain gas. It's not mixed gas. It says it is. I'm just using the thing. I just don't want to keep dumping too much, starting fluid down there. I should have filled the bowl. I didn't think of it, so I'm just gonna dump a little fuel down there, and let's see if she'll start. Okay, let's give her a try. All right, because it's got to fill the bowl, so. Maybe I unchoked it too soon. Okay, I shut it off. Well, that's good. That seems like it's hunting a little bit. But it's running on its own. So that jet was clogged. That was the problem. I am so happy, knock on wood, that I didn't, because there's no way I was getting that carburetor off of that thing. So luckily I could get at everything from the top, and that was a clogged jet. So that's what happens. So I'm glad I cleaned out the bowl. There was a lot of little bits and pieces in there, so hopefully that won't happen again. I'm going to put it back together, try to rig up my choke with my various springs and stuff, and we'll go from there. Okay, so it's running. It's idling pretty nicely. It's actually running better than it has in a while, probably because the carburetor was a little dirty. So we're going to rev it up and got my plow. I always get this confused. I got the plow. Gotta give it a little more juice. So we're gonna rev it up and drive it around front. Well, she stalled out on me. Well, you get the idea. Let's just make sure it's going to start up again. Here. Okay. Just tried to idle it down too much. So you get the idea. Seems like it's working all right. Don't really think I'm going to need it, but they're calling for a little bit of snow. I don't think we're going to get anything that sticks, though. It's going to be a lot of mess. So I'm going to just back it in, get it ready. It's got the wheel weights and chains on it already. So, yeah. Okay, so where I left off, getting this good old Ingersol 3014 high drive going again and driving around front here was saying, I don't think I'll need it. We're just supposed to get some slush. Well, we didn't get a lot of snow, but I did need to plow. So a lot of it's warm. It's in the mid 30s. There's a few flurries falling again now. The sun came out for a while and warmed everything up, but so yeah, I did need it. I think we had about 3 or 4 inches this morning before everything melted. In fact, I went out and I couldn't get up my driveway even with all-wheel drive. It was really greasy. So but the tractor did a phenomenal job. It's a very strong tractor, so it plows nicely. You know, ground's not frozen, tears it up a little bit. There's the gravely still sitting there, and I still haven't gotten that going yet. I have other videos on that, but so that's the deal. So I think after this, I'm going to throw a video in of it actually plowing, and so after that, that'll be it. So yeah. Really happy that I got it all cleaned out and running again, and it ran great. Did a great job plowing. So if you like that video, hit like, subscribe, and again, just got another minute or so, or 30 seconds or so of it actually plowing. So all right, thanks for watching.